Hello and welcome to part 3 of our Azure Data Fundamentals Ultimate course. Friends, in question number 31 of the series, we are tasked with identifying the service that supports serverless configuration of an Azure SQL database. Now, first option, SQL Server on Azure virtual machines is an infrastructure as a service offering, not serverless, so we can rule it out. Azure SQL Database Elastic Pool share resources across databases and do not support the serverless compute tier. The serverless compute tier is supported only for single databases in Azure SQL Database, making option C as the correct choice. Features included are auto-scaling compute, auto-pause, and auto-resume. Azure SQL Managed Instance is closer to full SQL Server compatibility and doesn't support serverless. Okay, next question is a fill in the blanks one, and you are asked to identify where Power BI data models and reports can be published after they are created. Folks, Power BI service is the right choice here. Power BI Desktop is used to create data models and reports. Power Query is used for data transformation, and Power BI phone app is used to view reports. Folks, use the link on your screen to familiarize yourself with basics of Power BI service. In question number 33, we are going to match data processing languages to the appropriate Azure real-time analytics service. The languages are JavaScript, KQL, Python, and SQL. First service is Azure Data Explorer, which uses Custo query language for fast interactive analytics on streaming or historical data. This language is also abbreviated as KQL. Now, the second service being talked about in the question is Azure Stream Analytics. Stream Analytics relies on a SQL-like language tailored for real-time event processing. Third service being talked about here is Azure Synapse Analytics. Now, Synapse supports both SQL for querying structured data and Python for advanced analytics and machine learning. I choose Python as the correct choice here as we are talking about real-time analytics. Folks, the remaining one, JavaScript, is not typically used directly in these services for data processing. Now, in question number 34, we are tasked with identifying the difference between structured and semi-structured data, and your options are structured data has a fixed schema and semi-structured data has a flexible schema. Only structured data supports entities. Structured data has a flexible schema and semi-structured data has a fixed schema. Only structured data supports attributes. Now, friends, structured data has a predefined fixed schema, whereas semi-structured data does not require a fixed schema and schema can evolve over time. Option B says only structured data supports entities, which is incorrect as semi-structured data also supports entities. Option C is just referring to the reverse of the correct options, and option D says only structured data supports attributes, which is incorrect as semi-structured also supports attributes. Now, friends, in question number 35, we have a variation of a question that has already been covered in the series. Here we are asked about the asset property that ensures once a transaction completes, the changes persist even if the database becomes temporarily unavailable, and durability is the right choice here. Isolation ensures transactions don't interfere with each other. Atomicity ensures the transaction is all or nothing. Consistency ensures the database moves from one valid state to another. Question number 36 is focused on some yes and no statements related to Azure file storage. And first statement is, you create Azure file storage in a storage account. Azure Files is always created inside an Azure storage account, making the first statement correct. Now, the second statement is premium tier of Azure file storage uses HDD based hardware in a data center. This is an incorrect statement as premium Azure files use SSD based storage. Let's move on to third statement. The standard tier of Azure file storage uses SSDs. This is also an incorrect statement. Standard Azure files use HDD based storage. Friends, if you don't know the difference between HDD and SSD, then HDDs use spinning magnetic disks and are slower but cheaper, while SSDs use flash memory with no moving parts and are much faster but cost more. Folks, question number 37 is a fill in the blanks question. And the question is focused around finding the Azure Cosmos DB API that enables the use of select statements to retrieve documents from Azure Cosmos DB. Your options are for NoSQL, for Apache Gremlin, for MongoDB, for table. And folks, Azure Cosmos DB for NoSQL uses a SQL-like query language that supports select statements to query JSON documents. For Apache Gremlin, you use the Gremlin traversal language. For MongoDB, you use the MongoDB query syntax. And for table, you use key value access patterns. Friends, if you are liking the content, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe the channel. We will move on to next question of the series. Here we are asked to identify an Azure SQL offering which offers near 100% compatibility with on-premise Microsoft SQL Server instances while providing automated updates, backups, and maintenance tasks. And your options are Azure SQL Managed Instance, SQL Server on Azure Virtual Machines, Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Edge. And friends, Azure SQL Managed Instance is the right choice here. It supports SQL Server Agent, cross-database queries, CLR, and Service Broker, while Azure handles automated backups, patching, and updates. High availability and maintenance is also provided. Now, SQL Server on Azure virtual machines also provide full compatibility, but you manage OS patching backup, which is why we have ruled it out. In question number 39, we are asked on what represents a single instance of a data entity in structured tabular data, and the options are a column, a table, a cell, a row. Folks, a column represents an attribute, for example, name or email. A table represents a collection of entities. A cell is a single value at the intersection of a row and a column. A row represents one complete record or one instance of an entity, for example, one customer or one order. Friends, if you still have any doubts in any of the questions that we have covered in the series till now, then you can post your thoughts or doubts in the comment section and I'll try to address them as soon as possible. Even if I don't get back to you, I'm sure someone else will get back to you in the community. So it is very beneficial to post your thoughts or doubts in the comment section. We will move on to question number 40 of the series. Again, this is a fill in the blanks question and we are talking about a graph database and we need to tell edges specify relationships between which of the following in the graph database. Your options are column families, facts, vertexes, tables. In a graph database, vertexes, also called nodes, represent entities and edges represents the relationship between vertexes. Folks, go through the link on your screen to read more about graph database in Azure. Okay. The statement for question number 41 is a retail point of sale POS system is an example of which type of solution? Your options are a data warehouse, online analytical processing, OLAP, extract, transform, and load, ETL, online transaction processing, OLTP. Folks, a POS system handles real-time transactions, inserts, updates, and deletes, and high volume of small, fast operations, making it a classic example of OLTP system. Data warehouse is used for historical reporting and analysis. OLAP, as we talked multiple times in the series, is used for analytics, aggregations, and business intelligence. And ETL is used for moving and transforming data, not processing transactions. In question number 42, we are going to look at a series of statements and we need to determine whether they are right or wrong. First statement is online transaction processing OLTP relies on a database system where data storage is optimized for both read and write operations. This is a correct statement. OLTP databases are designed to handle frequent reads, that is, querying records, and frequent writes, that is, inserts, updates, and deletes. Now, the second statement is online analytical processing OLAP relies on a database system where data storage is optimized for both read and write operations. This is an incorrect statement. OLAP systems are optimized primarily for read heavy operations. They perform complex queries, aggregations, and analysis on large volumes of historical data. The third statement is data warehouses are optimized for read operations. Data warehouses are designed primarily for analytical processing rather than transactional processing. They store large volumes of historical data and optimized for complex queries, aggregations, and reporting, all of which are read heavy operations. Writing or updating data is usually done in ETL processes. Okay, in this question, we are asked to select the chart type used to compare two numeric measures and identify a relationship or correlation between them. Your options are bar charts, pie charts, scatter charts, tables. Now, bar charts compare categories, not relationships. Pie charts show proportions of a whole. Scatter charts plot one numeric variable on the x-axis and another on the y-axis, making them ideal for spotting relationships, trends, and correlations between two numeric measures. Now, tables display data but don't visually reveal correlation. Folks, please go through the link on your screen to understand more about all the options being talked about in this question. Question number 44 is again a fill in the blanks question, and the statement is data in a data warehouse can be aggregated and loaded into an online analytical processing model, which is also known as, and your options are cube, data lake, dimension, and measure. Folks, an OLAP cube is a data structure that stores aggregated data from a data warehouse and allows fast multidimensional analysis across dimensions like time, geography, or product. A data lake stores raw, unstructured, or semi-structured data. It is used for big data analytics and machine learning, not for structured OLAP analysis. A dimension represents descriptive attributes such as time, product, or location used to slice and filter data in an OLAP cube. It is part of a cube, not the cube itself. A measure is a numeric value such as sales, revenue, or count that is aggregated and analyzed in an OLAP cube. Again, it is a component, not the OLAP model. Okay, the statement for question number 45 is which of the following enables multiple Azure SQL databases to share resources such as memory, data storage space, and processing power? Your options are an Azure SQL Server, an Elastic Pool, the Data Migration Assistant, a virtual network. Now, folks, an Azure SQL Elastic Pool is designed so that many databases on the same Azure SQL logical server can share a pool of resources, which is CPU, memory, storage, instead of each having separate dedicated resources. This makes resource usage more efficient and cost effective for workloads with varying demands. DMA is a tool for assessing and migrating on-premise SQL Server databases to Azure SQL. It does not manage or share runtime resources. Friends, that's all for this part of the series. If you are liking the content, make sure to subscribe the channel, hit that bell notification icon so you are updated on when further parts of the series are released. We are planning to release at least one part each week, so make sure you gain the maximum benefit from our past content and from our future content as well.